Howdy, welcome back to the channel. Today we are hiking up a dry riverbed and we're gonna stop. There's a few different areas where there are small sections of falls. So I thought we'll stop at a few different sections and we'll hike up the side of the riverbed. It is a lot of loose rocks and kind of a large boulders and stuff. So it will be a little bit slower going obviously. And we will have to be careful not to trip over any of the rocks. But with the water level a lot more reduced, there is a lot more freedom to move around and be able to find a better composition, be able to get a better angle, maybe just move the camera over individually. And today, more than likely, we might be able to use the 50mm and try to get a bit of a wider swath of landscapes in, as there is a fair amount of greenery up and it looks incredible. The sunlight is starting to get a little bit later on in the day now. The sunlight is starting to fade a bit more. So we only really have some light on the tops of the trees and at certain angles. So when we hike further up, there is a small clearing areas and there are a few other smaller areas where the sunlight might be able to reach down. But today, we're gonna have to be a bit of a longer shutter speed, which is perfect because again, there is a little bit of a breeze. I'm not quite sure which one I'm gonna wanna take a picture of. So I'm gonna grab my camera, frame up each one, see how they look, and whether or not this will be a good first photo. Oh, perfect. Right as the breeze starts picking up too. So I finally decided upon one of the falls. Even though the one on the left side here, pretty much in the middle, is a little bit more chaotic and a lot more energetic, there's a lot more areas where the water is hitting and changing directions, but it's just a little bit too chaotic and a little bit too unruly, especially with the rock right in front of it in the foreground. However, the one a little bit more on the right-hand side, even though it has a more straight shot down the stream here, I'm able to frame it up a little bit better where it looks like the water is coming from the middle and then exiting down the bottom right-hand corner of the composition. Now, there are a couple of rocks in the foregrounds, which I kind of enjoy. It is sort of like the immovable object against the unstoppable force of the water constantly rushing on it. Now, there are a few scars and signs that it has been impeding on the rocks, as there are some cracks and other stuff going through the rocks. But with the water flowing over it at this specific area, I'm thinking this might actually be a bit of a better photo. There is a bit more water than some of the other ones. There's no trash or anything else sort of in the composition. It's very stripped down and a little bit more straightforward. And I'm just kind of moving the camera around, whereas do I want it entering in the top of the frame or do I want a bit of calm before you kind of see it go over? And then sort of have a bit less in the foreground. First, I'm gonna put on a circular polarizer, just to get rid of any of the glare. Even though there's not very much sun reflecting down, there is still a little bit hitting off some of the leaves and other stuff reflecting down here. So I'm just gonna use this to get rid of most of the glare. Now, as well as the circular polarizer, we're also gonna put on an 8-stop ND filter. Now here's what the waterfalls are looking like. When I pull it back a bit more, you can see there's a lot more all around it. But these two really are the most interesting ones and the ones that have the highest amount of energy, especially that one over there on the left. You can see where it's hitting a lot of different directions, creating a lot of rapids. Whereas the one on the right, or there in the middle right now, it is almost just a straight jet line down. And that is the one that we are focusing on. The smaller ones you can see over here, they are a little bit more greenery and a bunch of grass, other stuff all around it that kind of doesn't add to the image and kind of doesn't look very pleasant. When we zoom back a little bit more, you can see how it brings a lot more chaos into the composition. You can see how in the top or in the foreground element, there's too much water moving around in different directions, kind of counteracting into each other. And then the two different falls where you can see one almost entering in from the left side of the frame. It just kind of looks a little bit too messy. Whereas as soon as I zoom it in, you can see the two rocks almost in the foreground, guiding your eye up to where the giant waterfall is crashing down, creating all of that turbulence water, and then flowing down the stream. We're then going to focus in on the rock in the foreground, just to help soften up a lot of the water around it, and keep our focus in the foreground elements. So f45 at 30 seconds, ISO 200, and at the full zoom range of 300 millimeters. With the polarizer, it definitely helps. You can see through the water at the top or in the background. You can see a lot of detail under the water of rocks and a bit of moss and other stuff. Same thing again, 255 millimeters this time. f40 at 30 seconds, still ISO 200. And we'll see if there's much of a difference between these two photos. There was another speck of dust on either one of the polarizers or on the main lens itself, so I had to take a few minute break and just wipe absolutely everything down again. I'm gonna insert that photo now into the video. Let me know what you guys think about this one. Well, that first photo that we had where we were trying to add motion into stillness, which sounds kind of paradoxical, but for this one as well, there are a couple of bluish colored rocks, and all over one of the rocks, there's a bunch of cracks and a bit of rust coloration and kind of intricate patterns all over the place. So I'm trying to see if I can incorporate that into a photo. At first, it wasn't really jumping out to me. I've been walking around trying to find a good angle on it. And so far, I've kind of focused in on where more of the crack work is and some of the rust. If I can kind of get that as a photo. I'm not quite sure if this one will work or not. As I said, I've probably been here for about 15 minutes just trying to finesse this composition. And I'm still not quite sold if I like it or not. Now here's what the composition is looking like so far. You can see the two colored blue rocks, plus a little bit of the river stone here in the foreground. But my main focus is all over that rock right there in the center. You can see all the cracks and all the rust coloration all over it. I'm trying to get that into a composition. And I'm not sure if I want this in color, so you can kind of see the contrast between the blue, the rust, and the black crack marks, or if I want to convert it to monochrome and then just see the detail in the crack works all over it. So food for thought. Get some of this off the screen. You can see how we have some of the river rock here in the foreground, and then we have some of the rust discoloration on this rock, as well as the discoloration of the rust, plus all of the intricate details in the cracks, almost looking like a bit of a mosaic. I am thinking about punching in one more time to the 1.6 crop factor, just to help reduce a lot more of the river rock in the foreground and just focusing in more on the cracks and the rust. Now, I'm just gonna take one more photo. I punched into the 1.6 zoom and I kind of focused in a little bit more on where the intricate crack work is, as well as the rust discoloration in it. And I'm deciding that's gonna be the image that I'm gonna choose for this one. I wasn't sure if I wanted to incorporate both of the rocks or just the one, But I think for this one, I'm just gonna focus on one. I'm gonna insert that second photo in the video now. Let me know what you guys think. Well, the trail narrows down a lot right here. I would have to cross over the stream to continue up on that side, or kind of do a bit of a forested hike all the way around. But today I don't feel like getting bit by too many mosquitoes. It's already kind of bad as it is. So we'll just hike back down the river. And if we find any more compositions, we'll definitely stop. And if not, oh well, we at least got a couple of photos today, so I'm pretty happy with that. I kind of wish I had a much smaller drone that would actually be able to fly a bit lower and actually kind of go along down here so we could see what's around the corner. I'm very interested in what could be possibly all the way up there. The only problem is I don't feel like getting wet and trying to cross the stream, and I would have to start doing a crazy amount of bushwhacking to be able to go around the forest up here. So we went as far as we could travel, and now we'll turn back around and start heading back. There's only about 45 minutes or so, 50 minutes of sunlight left. So we'll have to start making our way back and probably start heading back to the car. All right, well, we hiked for quite a while and I couldn't really find any other compositions. So we're returning back the way that I came. And if we kind of see anything as I'm hiking, we might stop, but there's like very small little pools and stuff here where there is not really anything of interest. It's just pebbles, stones, rocks. And again, the rocks, there are some that have some interest in it, but most of them are just bland but generic rocks that nobody really cares about. Well, I was kind of hoping we'd be able to find another photograph before we called it a day, but I hiked all the way along the riverbed as far as I could, came back, jumped back on the main trail here, and there's really no other photos that I could see. So we'll just call it a day here. If you guys enjoyed the video today, like, comment, subscribe down below. Let me know what you thought of the photos if you so wish, and we'll talk to you guys again in the next one.